Hello and welcome to another macro video. We're looking today at RSI, repetitive strain injury, and I've got the strange subtitle "Watch Yourself," which you'll see the significance of in a minute. But what I'm trying to suggest is that it's sort of an editor's industrial injury issue, because repetitive strain injury can be a bit of a nuisance for those of us who are doing a lot of on-screen work. I've already done one video about this, trying to help you reduce the chances of RSI. There's the URL, but I'm sure you can look it up. My own experience is that Sue and I were going down to London, as we're doing at the moment, because we're on an Alzheimer's drugs trial for Sue, and we were killing the time on a 2-hour train journey by playing Scrabble. Unfortunately, it's a fairly bumpy track between here at Norwich, where I am, and London. And we were playing for over an hour, and that's really a bad idea because it involves trying to pick up tiles. So you're moving the mouse around very carefully, trying to pick tiles up and move them around, move them onto the playing board. And when the train's bouncing around, it's quite difficult to control the picking up and putting down, and so I was gripping the mouse like mad, and within a week or so later I realized I was getting terrible pains in my elbow, and I'm pretty sure that that's what caused it. Thankfully it's virtually gone now, but that's about 4 to 5 months ago. It's taken that long for the effect on my elbow to die off because of that one stupid action of really gripping the mouse for a long period of time. Okay, so I'm thinking in terms of a kind of a notional index of how bad things are for you, for me, for us, and I'm basing it on the length of time that you grip the mouse. How long do you grip it, and how hard do you grip it? Those are important. So if you do something by pressing a key, then I'm classing that as 0 RSI. It's not likely to cause RSI. If we're pushing the mouse, lazily pushing the mouse and then clicking in a word, or maybe double clicking, I've given that half a point. If we move to an exact position, so there's a T missing there, so I've got to go to exactly in between those two eyes, so I'm gripping the mouse to get there, then I can go there and put the T back in. So that's gripping the mouse and moving it. So I've given that 1 point. Now a really bad way of doing it is to say that I've got to accurately drag select. So I'm gripping, I'm pressing the mouse, I'm dragging to exactly the right place. I've given that 4 points on the RSI scale. So the alternative to that, to reduce, if we've got to select something, let's reduce it by using click and shift click. In other words, if I want to select those words there, if I click in the left hand side there, it was just one lazy move of the mouse, one click, and then hold the shift key down and do a shift click, do a click at the other end of the selection, and if I get it wrong it doesn't matter, because if I hold the shift key down I can adjust the selection point. Okay, so what I now want to do is to think, well, okay, what examples are there of macros that can enable you to use keyboard clicks rather than the mouse? And some that I've got here to show you. First one here, parenthesis add. So if you want to put some parentheses round those 3 words in the middle there, so if I click in the first one, shift click in the second one, again you don't need to accurately click, so you're not gripping so much, and then run the parentheses add. But what I will do is put on the little display down the bottom here, which wasn't supposed to have that in, but never mind. So you can see what macros I'm using. So click there and run parenthesis add, and that shows you down there which macro I've used. Another one is if we're wanting to add quotes. So where are we? We're there. So click. We're going to add quotes double or single. So if I want to add quotes around those three, click and shift click, and then put single quotes around that. Let's say we want double quotes around that for some stupid reason. Okay, so that's nice and easy. Then the next one is parentheses etc. pair delete. Long complicated name. Basic idea is if you want to get rid of those parentheses, then click somewhere, doesn't matter where, somewhere in between them, preferably near to the final one, and then that one is that one. There we go. So it's taken rid of. It's got rid of the parentheses, but it's also worked the same macro, so you don't have to learn yet another keystroke. It works for single quotes and it works for double quotes. Okay, and then there are lots of others that we can use. Oh yes, we've got abra swap, short for abbreviation swap. So we've got some text here. Have you come across a new training module? That's dropping a hint that there's a new module to learn how to use Reddit. The FSO should go in the parentheses, not the initial stating of the full name. So if I click in FSO and run abraswap, then to save you selecting it all, dragging it all, moving the parentheses and so on. Yeah, no, maybe I think I'll have it. I'll have it back the other way around. So if I click in Reddit there and run the same macro, then it puts it back the other way, so you can use it for either. And you've probably also come across what have we got? Oh well, yes, there's swap words, swap characters. Yeah. And one that you may not have come across, or a couple that you may not have come across, is move the text left. So if I want to move the word training further back, then I can use this. That's parentheses, doesn't it? So take them away again. So let's just pause a second. Okay, let's try again. So remember the keystroke now. To shift that word left, I do one click on there and move it again and move it again. Or obviously I can move one right, but you can use more than one word. So if say those three words want moving, then I can shift those left and right. Quite useful. Okay, so those are the sorts of macros that we have available. Finally, back to the subtitle we had, watch yourself. What I'm saying there is that while you're working, you want to consciously think what you're doing. What are you using the mousing for? And anything that you are doing often with the mouse. And again, as we said, with a number of sort of RSI points, are we drag selecting, so think what you're using, and we want to get rid of them. So is there a macro that could do the job that you're doing by using the mouse? So have a look in the macro menu. You find the macro menu on the wordmacrotools.com website, and have a look in there. So, and if you can't find it in there, feel free to ask me. And don't sweat over it. Doesn't take me long if you send me an email to tell you that there's a macro, or if there isn't a macro, then why not make one? If you're going to find it useful, then other people might. So, and before I stop, quick plug. I'm just about to do a 1,000-mile bike ride. I'm doing it on behalf of Alzheimer's Society, and if you'd like to sponsor me, that would be splendid. Sue's got Alzheimer's, so I want to work on this. So that's the Just Giving website, and just find Paul Beverley on there, and if you sponsor me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for now.